we must understand the scriptures through the Guru. Because the Guru has been given a divine mind and a divine intellect, he is very capable of understanding the scriptures and giving us the knowledge of the scriptures. Otherwise, it's like three men, friends, sitting under a tree, and on the branch of that tree, there was a bird that was sitting. The bird was chirping and singing very sweetly, and the three men, the three friends, heard the bird's chirping, and they interpreted the bird's chirping in three different ways. One man was a grocer, and he used to sell spices and chili peppers and so on and so forth. So he thought that the bird was saying, "Sont mirch adrak." He said, "Look, listen friends, the bird is saying, it's amazing. The bird is saying, "Sont mirch adrak, sont mirch adrak." The second one said, "You're a fool." The second one was a bodybuilder, a strong man. So he said, "No, the bird is not saying "Sont mirch adrak." It is saying "Dand baithak kasrat." Dand baithak kasrat, dand baithak kasrat. The third one was a devotee of Bhagwan Sri Ram. He said, "No, you're both wrong. Obviously, the bird is saying Sita Ram Dashrath. Sita Ram Dashrath, Sita Ram Dashrath." Now, what is the bird really saying? God knows, and the bird knows, and other birds know. We don't speak bird language, so we don't know. But the important part is that three people heard the same chirping of the bird and heard it in three different ways, interpreted it in three different, very different ways. There are 6.5 billion people on this planet Earth right now. And if we were all to read one scripture, we would come up with at least 6.5 billion different interpretations. Each one will be saying, "My interpretation is right. I am right, you are wrong." Our ego prevents us from saying that maybe someone else could be right. No, I'm right, you are wrong. So whose explanation and whose interpretation will we accept? We accept our own. There was a couple and both of them were reading the Tulsikrit Ramayan. They both finished and they were comparing notes. The husband said to the wife, "What I have understood from the Ramayan is this, that you, as my wife, should be like Sita." She said, "That's funny. What I have understood from the Ramayan is this, that you, as my husband, should be like Ram." Two opposite interpretations. They are understanding the Ramayan in light of their own selfish motive. So whatever is convenient to each one of them, that is what they have understood. She hasn't understood that she should try to be like Sita. He has not understood that he should be like Ram. He says, "You should be like Sita. Never mind that I'm more like Ravan." She said, "You should be like Ram. Never mind that I'm more like Shrupnakha." So everyone accepts the interpretation of the scriptures that is suitable to him or her. And that's the same thing we do with the Guru's instruction. We hold on to one sentence Maharaj has spoken, and then we throw our weight around. Maharaj said this, but he said something else too. No, I will turn deaf to those teachings. But Maharaj said this, and I do this, you don't do that. So we take part of what Maharaj has said, and then we say, look, I do this, you don't do that. This is what Maharaj says. Likewise, we go to the scriptures, we take whatever is convenient for us, whatever we like, and we just ignore the rest. We just ignore the rest. That's it. We're like little children. We are not able to understand. Once, when Sri Maharaj was giving his public discourses, and those discourses were attended by hundreds of thousands of people in hushed silence. Hundreds of thousands of people, and Maharaj would not tolerate a person even looking this way or that way. And I'm not exaggerating. Once in Jaipur, Maharaj saw one person, because they wore the headdresses, turbans. Maharaj saw one pagdi wala moving, and Maharaj said, "Oh, peeli pagdi wale, kya kar rahe ho? What are you doing? The one you with the yellow turban." And he just froze. Maharaj does not tolerate anyone even looking this way or that way. He has been known to stop his lecture and walk out. He has done that. In front of me, Maharaj has done that. You people are not interested. I'm leaving. Even if you glance in a different direction. So Maharajji's lectures were attended by hundreds of thousands of people in pin-drop silence. This is why it amazes me that just a few of us can't be disciplined. But anyway, that's another story, another lecture. Maharajji saw that the first maybe 10, 15 rows were occupied by little children. And he was amazed to see little children attending scholarly lectures. And Sri Maharajji is as friendly and as down-to-earth as he is great. So one day after the lecture finished, Maharajji went up to the children, sat down on the ground, and asked them, "You children come here night after night to hear me, but what do you understand? Tum logon ko mera pravachan samajh mein aata hai kya?" And they were all just, "Oh, Maharajji, such a great personality sitting with us." They couldn't speak, but one of the boys said, "Maharajji, I come here to count the number of times you say the word Rasgulla." That's what he understood from the lecture. Rasgulla. Today you said Rasgulla 10 times. Yesterday you said 16 times. Sri Maharajji says the word Rasgulla and everybody starts thinking, Maharajji must be very fond of this sweet Rasgulla. And Maharajji never eats it. Why does he say it? He uses it to represent the world. Sri Maharajji says in his lectures, there are some people, very few, who are Brahmanandi. They want to attain the bliss of Brahm. Rest of them are Rasgullanandi. They just want the temporary pleasures of the world. So Rasgulla means the material world. Are you running after Brahmanand or are you running after Rasgullanand? When he says Rasgulla, he really doesn't mean that sweet. He just means that the world which looks very, very sweet to us, like Rasgulla is sweet. So those children, night after night, they were just coming there to listen to the word Rasgulla. And they would just count them, and that's all they understood from the lecture. Once I asked the little boy, "You look very, very focused on what I was saying. Are you understanding my lecture?" And he said, I'm counting the number of words that you speak that begin with a K. That's all he was doing. And he was looking so serious because he was counting. 1, 2, 3. And we are like that. We read the scripture and we take out whatever we can understand. And that's not enough. We need a genuine teacher to teach us what is useful for us in that particular scripture. This is why Sri Maharajji gives so many testimonies from the scriptures and he explains the scriptures so that the listener may now understand what the Vedas are saying, what the Upanishads are saying, what the Gita is really saying. After listening to some lectures that I had given in Toronto, right in the beginning when I started preaching in 87, this was in 88, I remember this time very well. A gentleman came up to me and he was of German origin. He said, "I was going to come to just one of your lectures just to see what it was like, but I had to come back again and again because every time the lecture ended with a cliffhanger. This is the question, and what is the answer? That shall be revealed tomorrow." That is Sri Maharajji's method, and that is a method that we follow, his servants, follow also. And with Sri Maharajji's grace, the great knowledge of the Gita and other scriptures was given in the lectures. So at the end of it all, he said to me, he said, I am so amazed that I have been reading the Gita and studying it for the last 30 years, and I didn't understand any of it, and I have understood it completely after listening to 15 days of lectures. That is the glory of the Guru. That is how important the Guru is. The Guru gives us the knowledge of the Gita and other scriptures in a way that we can understand.